My husband never hit me. He didn't have to. His words did enough damage. Every day, he controlled the house. Every conversation, every emotion. And for years, I stayed quiet. Until one day, I found the smallest, pettiest way to fight back. And strangely, that tiny rebellion kept me from breaking completely. If you've ever felt trapped, dismissed, or emotionally drained in a relationship, hit like, subscribe, and stay with me, because this husband-wife story might feel uncomfortably real. We weren't a broken family, at least not on the outside. From the street, we looked normal. Working parents, kids, routine. But inside that house, everything revolved around him. My husband wasn't physically violent. No bruises, no police calls. But emotionally, he dominated every inch of our lives. Every word had to be careful. Every action had to meet his expectations. Or else, there would be consequences. Not loud, explosive ones. No, his anger was suffocating. Silent treatment, mocking comments, passive-aggressive digs that lingered long after the moment passed. And the worst part? He never thought he was wrong. Our mornings were mechanical. I'd wake up early, get the kids ready, prepare breakfast. And before I could even sit down, his voice, "Did you pack my lunch?" Not please, not thank you, just expectation. Because in his mind, that was my job. Even though I worked full-time too. Even though I barely slept. Even though I was slowly, emotionally collapsing. His lunch was always the same. 2 bologna and cheese sandwiches. Mayo, mustard, snack cakes, crackers, a soda. Simple, predictable, controlled. Just like everything else in our lives. At first, I complied. Of course I did. That's what you do when you're trying to keep peace in a house that feels like it's always on edge. But over time, something inside me started to crack. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly. You forgot the mustard. It's not cut right. Why can't you do one simple thing properly? Every comment chipped away at me. And when I tried to respond, "You're overreacting. It's not a big deal. You're too sensitive." So I stopped talking. Because what was the point? When every feeling I had was dismissed before it even landed? The house got quieter after that. But not peaceful quiet. Heavy quiet. The kind that sits in your chest and makes it hard to breathe. That I started questioning myself. Maybe he's right. Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe this is normal. Maybe this is just marriage. But then I'd watch other couples, hear laughter, see kindness, and something inside me would whisper, "This isn't right." Still, I stayed. For the kids. For stability. For the hope that maybe one day he'd change. But hope is a dangerous thing when it keeps you stuck. The breaking point didn't come with a scream. It came with something smaller. Something almost ridiculous. One night, I was exhausted. Completely drained. I had worked all day, helped the kids with homework, cleaned the house. And there I was, standing in the kitchen, making his lunch. He walked in, looked at the counter, and sighed. Not loudly, just enough for me to hear. Still not done. That was it. No appreciation. No acknowledgement. Just dissatisfaction. And in that moment, something inside me snapped. Not outwardly, but internally. A quiet shift. I realized he wasn't going to change. And I couldn't keep living like this. But I also wasn't ready to leave. Not yet. So instead, I did something small, petty, almost childish. But it gave me something I hadn't felt in years. Control. As I stood there, finishing his sandwich, I grabbed the mustard bottle, paused, and then, without thinking too much about it, I drew something on the inside of the bread. Something stupid. Something ridiculous. A crude little drawing, hidden between layers of meat and cheese. Completely invisible from the outside. I stared at it for a second. And then, for the first time in a long time, I smiled. The next day, nothing happened. He ate his lunch. Came home. Same routine. Same attitude. He never noticed. So I did it again. And again. And again. Every time I made his lunch, I added my little secret. A silent rebellion. A private joke. A tiny act of defiance in a life where I felt powerless. And strangely, it helped. Not because it fixed anything, but because it reminded me. I still existed. Years passed. The kids grew up. Life moved forward. And eventually, I found the strength to leave. Not dramatically. Not in a fight. Just quietly. One evening, long after everything had changed, I sat down with my daughter. She was older now. Stronger. Wiser. We started talking about the past. About the house. About him. And then, I told her. I used to draw things in his sandwiches. She blinked. Wait, what? I laughed. A real laugh. The kind I hadn't heard from myself in years back then. I don't know why I started. I just needed something that was mine. She stared at me for a second, and then suddenly, she burst out laughing. But then she said something that made me pause. You know, I used to help sometimes. I frowned. What do you mean? She grinned. I did it too. And just like that, the room filled with laughter. Real laughter. The kind that heals something deep inside you. In that moment, I realized something. We had both survived. Not because we were strong all the time, but because we found small ways to cope, to resist, to hold on to ourselves in a place that tried to erase us. Those tiny, ridiculous acts weren't just jokes. Marriage isn't just about staying together. It's about feeling safe, respected, seen. And when those things disappear, people don't always leave right away. Sometimes, they survive in silence, in small acts, in quiet resistance, in ways no one else can see. But eventually, everyone reaches a point where silence isn't enough anymore. If this story resonated with you, hit like and share your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done in this situation? And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful, real-life husband-wife story transformations.